Hey everybody, before I start, I have a quick question. Which among these lines is longer? Correct. How many of you say that both are equal? The sorry to burst your bubble, but you're wrong. The one on the bottom is actually longer. Why? Because I made it longer. I just wanted to prove one thing. A majority of you have seen this post on social media and are using the same responses you gave then. Things can change overnight, and they are changing. And unless we recognize this and innovate, we'll all be left having wrong answers. So guys, on the count of 3, I want you to shout out things which you take for granted nowadays, but your parents didn't have when they were young. Right? 1, 2, 3. Alright, so you see what I just did here? I pal sourced. So when I was trying to get a list, I typed my friends and my parents' friends and I asked them the same question I asked you right now. And here are some of the responses I got. Credit cards, of course. When you want to book a movie without asking your parents, credit cards to the rescue. Digital photography. Guys, just imagine, you have that fancy old camera, you take a photo, you wash it up, you take 200 copies, you send it to your friends. Thank God for social media and DSLRs. Speaking of digital photography, guys, if you don't mind, I just want to make a quick memory. On the count of 3, I want you all to shout TEDx as loud as you can, right? 1, 2, 3. Yes. There we go. An indelible memory which I shall cherish forever. Moving on. You all know what this is, right? The superhero of the bathroom. Guys, take a minute and think. What would we do without it? My dad's a bit now. He is very spatially challenged. He used to take directions from my mom, who of course would take optimal advantage of that, but not any longer. My dad now uses Google Maps and can go anywhere he wants. And of course, the 3 best friends that anyone could have: sugar, high blood pressure, and cholesterol. So I found that a large number of things have gone forward phenomenally over the past few years, except one thing. Last year, my dad, my sister and I went to his old school, St. Joseph's Boys' School in Kerala. Now this school is over 100 years old, guys. And I asked my dad how they used to teach in class and what they used to do in school. To my surprise, not much has changed. Why has everything gone forward with so much velocity while education is still at the starting line, tying up its laces? Everything about the students the schools teach have changed, but not the schools themselves. Yeah, we talk about smart boards, we talk about projectors, but these are just trivial changes. Let's look at how we, the people of today, have changed. Generation Z, we learn by doing. When we buy a new game, say Assassin's Creed, right? The number of times we die is much more than the number of people in China. And when our parents were young and they bought games, the first day they would read the manual from back to front, and the next day they would go on and play the game. But we, on the other hand, we just have to get out there and show them who's boss. Our attention spans have gone as low as 5 seconds. And I wonder why we still have 14-minute long periods. There, I said it. But guys, jokes apart, our attention spans, down there. Multitasking. Look at the stuff our parents used to watch. Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo. Now look at the stuff we watch. You can't differentiate between a classroom and a war zone. Both are equally jam-packed with different voices and animations. And finally, I can say with absolute certainty to each and every student sitting in this audience, every single answer to every single question in your notebook is from meditation or learncbse.in. And why shouldn't we use these websites? Why spend your entire day ruffling through the pages of an old textbook when you can have all the answers you need at your fingertips? My uncle, he's an engineer. He once told me that if you study 50% of the portions allotted to you in engineering, it's enough to get you into first class. But once you graduate, you're left knowing only half of what you should know. Sadly, this is our education system today. How can we call this innovation in education? How many of you have learned martial art? You know, karate, kung fu? Okay. The first comes the white belt, and unless and until you master every single trick and trade of the white belt, they won't let you go on to the yellow, the blue, the green, the purple, the brown, and eventually the black belt. That is mastery. This is mastery. 8 years of it, worth every second. And yeah, that's my black belt. I got it last year. I'm proud of myself. So why not make sure that we do the same thing in school? Why not make sure that unless and until we master the topic 100%, we should not be promoted? Is this possible, you may ask? It would require individualized teaching. It is possible today, using our most favorite medium, videos. Learn to master, TEDxOOBschool is the answer. What if our teachers upload the lessons they shoot on YouTube? It costs nothing, and we can learn or relearn at our own pace. Think about it. We can pause the teacher, you can rewind and fast forward the teacher anytime you want, and you can listen to them anytime, anywhere. And the best thing is what happens in class. Not boring old lectures, of course not. Clarification and problem solving. This is the innovation that we, the people of today, need in our lives. And to verify this, I have an expert with me. This is Mr. Salman Khan, top-notch fellow. How many of you use Khan Academy? Right? Khan Academy, other than Bill Gates gets, it's used by millions of students worldwide. He says that we should learn for mastery, not simply for the sake of learning. We should use videos, PPTs, and so on. So I'm pretty sure he supports the fact that if we need to learn to master, TEDxOOBschool is the one and only answer. But guys, there's another advantage to this system. This is for our teachers. Our teachers can spend more of their profound time doing more profound things. Think about it. When we buy a new shirt, a teacher should be the one who tells us that they're manufactured in sweatshops, where kids half our age are forced to work as bonded laborers. When we waste food and water, a teacher should be the one who tells us that every 3 seconds, a child dies somewhere due to hunger. In other words, let's leave it to the machines to turn us into scholars, but we need teachers to make us better human beings. But guys, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that teachers should be speaking out of first-hand experience and all. A teacher has the most important job of all. A teacher teaches us what it means to be human. A teacher teaches us how to live life, not only to the length, but to the width as well. A teacher is with us from the first day of our lives to the last day, both in spirit and in the flesh. Speak of a face only a mother can love, right? You all know who this is, right? Professor Dolores Umbridge. No one knows her. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I disagree with her character. How many of you do? But sometimes the most disagreeable people have the most profound messages to give. In the Order of the Phoenix, she says, and I quote, "Progress for the sake of progress must be discouraged. Let us preserve what must be preserved, perfect what can be perfected, and prune practices that ought to be prohibited." And I shall leave you with this thought on innovation. Thank you.